Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of beautiful ballet feet. So if you missed the first video when I was talking about getting beautiful ballet feet and improving your arch and everything with normal ballet shoes, then I will link that video in the description and you can go and watch it, because I do think that is a good place to start before we start talking about beautiful ballet feet on point. The first thing that I just want to say about point is please do not start point unless you have ask your ballet teacher if you're ready to start point and you have had a professional help you in terms of got the right point shoes, you know how to work properly on point. It is really important because it can be dangerous to go on point if you're not ready. So the things I'm going to talk about today are things that I've learned since I've been on point. They're things that I've applied to my own dancing. I know there are slightly different philosophies on point, and especially things like weight placement, and you'll see where I think that my feet look best and how to get the best out of my feet, and it's what I do. It may be different for other people, and for example, if you have really amazing arches, you will not want to do some of the things that I'm talking about today, because actually once you get on point and you have a really good arch, you're going to need to work differently, because you're not going to want to go over and do quite a lot of the things that I'm talking about, and you're going to need to actually be thinking much more about pulling out of the point shoe rather than pushing the arch forward, which is what I'm going to be talking about today. But I'm guessing if you have a really beautiful, amazing arch, you're not watching this video because it's not really for you guys. So for the rest of us that have kind of normal feet, these are all the things that I've done, and I definitely noticed a difference when I went specifically onto point, because you can really use your weight, all of your weight, to help you with your arch, and you don't have your little toes in the way, like they're all underneath you. So I think that point for me definitely helped working on my arch, but I definitely did manage to improve my arch quite a lot even before I started point as well. So just before we get into the video, I wanted to let you guys know that I am wearing my Block Balance European point shoes. I'm going to link to them in the description, and I have the suede toe pads on the front, which I will also link to. I think they're Grishko ones, just because at the moment I'm dancing on wooden floors at the dance studio where I go to. If I was dancing on linoleum, I wouldn't need that, but also they don't let us use resin there. So yeah, that's why I've got them. I have old ribbons on these point shoes, which I don't like. I don't like these ribbons. My favourite ribbons, which I've now got on my demi point shoes and on my other point shoes, are the Block stretch ribbons. I will also link to them, but just in case you guys are wondering like what are the best ribbons and elastic and things like that, I will link it all in the description. Anyway, let's get into the video. So a lot of the same things apply on point as they do on demi point. So the first thing that we're going to think about is our releves in parallel, one at a time, our rises, and we need to think about all of the same things as we do in our normal ballet shoes. When we're wearing point shoes, we have actually two types of demi point. We have the low demi point and the high demi point, and the high demi point, as you can see, is basically nearly on point. It's just keeping the bend in the toes, and this is the second kind of demi point that we have. So when we're rolling up and down through the feet in point, it's important to pass through both of those. So I'm here, and then I'm here, and we're going to change and change, rolling up and down as well through both demi points, and every single time pushing that arch forward. So again, I'm not staying here, I'm carrying on pushing that foot forward and pushing the arch out. And it's exactly the same when we come into first position. So I'm passing through the first demi point, the second demi point, and then going up onto point. And from here we can do our plie, and then again I'm letting my arches fall right forward here and putting all my weight over my arches so that they can really stretch and I can get the most out of it. And now when I straighten, I'm really trying to keep that arch where it was. So again, as I straighten, I'm not coming from here to here. No, I'm going to try and leave my arches, leave my feet where they are, and just straighten the knees, and then rolling back down through the feet. Another warm-up exercise which is really nice for the arches is to do a tendu and then put the weight onto that foot. And by doing that, you're going to really feel your arch, and again, trying to leave that arch as I straighten my leg and coming back in. And that is exactly the same devant Again, pushing that heel forward. I'm not here. Yes, this is pushing my arch out, but it's not a nice line. I have to push that heel forward at the same time. And when we do derriere, this time I'm not just going to come here, I'm going to actually drop my heel a little bit so that I can wing that foot a little bit, which is going to really improve the line. Okay, now onto something so important on point, which is the weight placement. So now first let me show you in parallel. Obviously I want my leg, my arch fully engaged. My knee has to be completely straight, so don't loosen your knee to kind of get further. No, your knee needs to be completely straight, but your arch is pushing out as much as it possibly can. So that's kind of a counter tension there. From a turned out angle, what do I want? I want my weight to be towards my big toe, but not completely on my big toe, just towards it. So I don't want to be here, I want to be here, towards my big toe, but with the full block of the point shoe on the floor. So let me show you from the front in parallel. I don't want my weight here. Do you see how this looks like I'm sickling? I've still got the full box on the floor, but you can tell that my weight is too far towards my little toe. That does not look nice. Now, here it is exactly in the middle, but here it is slightly towards my big toe. And this is the most beautiful line. What I don't want to do is this, because imagine trying to do a pirouette here just on this little bit of the shoe. No, I want to have my full shoe on the floor for pirouettes, but in general I want to think about, because it's more natural I think to go this way, I really want to think about keeping the weight slightly towards my big toe, and that is what gives this nice line in fourth position, because I'm not like this. So there are some positions where you will need to only have part of the point shoe on the floor, like a fourth position, for example. This isn't a nice fourth position, is it? Look at that. No, I need to keep that nice line and the weight towards the big toe. Something else that's really good on point is relevé with a plie. Plie, straight up, and what happens here is that we don't want to see this and this. I don't know if you saw that in two movements. What we want to see is straight up and arches straight out. So just look at the difference again. If I go da-da, or if I just go da, and I'm straight out and I'm pushing that arch out from the beginning. Obviously on point we also have our échappés. So when we do our échappés, it's kind of the same principle as I was talking about with the tendus in our flat ballet shoes, is that we need to pass through this point and then we're going up. What I'm not doing is coming from here straight up, flat up, flat up. That is bad technique. It's more dangerous because you're going to be putting more pressure on, because it's almost kind of like you're going to be jumping up onto the point shoe instead of sliding up. And we're also just not going to improve our arches as much by doing that. If we're going from fifth position, we're going to plie and we're going to come straight out and then back in. Again, as I'm coming in, that was me trying to do it in slow motion. As we're coming back in, we want to be passing through all of this to the plie. We don't want to be coming just from out, in, out, in. That's not what an échappé is. So again, échappé and in. And it's especially important to hold your centre as you're coming back in from the échappé. So out and in, out and in. And again, every time pushing that arch out as far as you can. Now, another exercise that is not only great for strength, but it's essential on point, is being able to get up onto point on just one leg. I mean, think about fouettes on point and things. That's all on one leg. So this is another really good opportunity to really think, am I right on top of my point shoe, or have I left it somewhere here? That's useless to me. I need to be right over. And again, rolling down each time through the point shoe, up and rolling down, up and rolling down. I know it's tempting to do this, guys. I know it's tempting, but that is not doing anything for my foot or for my strength or really for my technique. Every single time I need to be thinking, pushing right up over. There's nowhere else for me to go. I am fully on my centre, my arch is fully out. And rolling again, back down and up roll down, right up. There's nowhere else for me to go, and down. If you want to have beautiful ballet feet and feel confident dancing on point, you cannot do things by half, you have to go for it. Something that I will say is that while I was at the conservatoire for a year, if you don't know that story, I will link my dance story video in case you want to know the full story. But basically that year that I was at the conservatoire, my feet really improved a lot. I was doing a lot of point work. I was really focusing on all the things that I'm going to tell you guys today. Because I'd only been dancing ballet for like a year and a half at that point, or like 2 years by the time I'd finished, that was a lot very quickly. And I actually had not exactly an injury, but I had quite a lot of pain in my arches, and especially my left arch, which is my better arch actually. And part of that was, I think, pressure put on the bones, and so it did actually change the shape of my feet, not just, you know, when I'm dancing, but the actual shape of my actual feet. And I went down half a shoe size because of my arch going up more, so my feet were like smaller that way, if that makes sense. Now that is not something that I would recommend, because I don't think it's the healthiest way or the safest way to improve your arch. It would have been much better if that process would have happened over a number of years. So I don't really want to advocate for that, but it's just what happened to me, because that was just how my ballet journey happened. And I couldn't like be in the conservatoire and say like, oh, my arches are hurting, like maybe I shouldn't do point today. Like I just had to get on with it and had to do it. Yeah, my feet have changed shape, I guess, like irreversibly. But having said that, it's not just a case of doing it for a time and then you get your ballet feet and then you can forget about it. Like I definitely noticed, like for example over the summer holidays when I don't dance as much, and when I come back to it, if I don't think about all these things in the video, I notice that my feet aren't as beautiful. So it's definitely a case of consistently thinking about these things in order to improve and then maintain your beautiful ballet feet. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope it's been helpful. As always, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!